Commissioner of Public Lands Hillary Franz joins us. Brandy Cruz in studio right now. Brandy?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hillary Franz, thank you for being here. You have said publicly that you believe this fire season is going to be a pretty bad one.
That's right, and all evidence is showing that. Just in the second week of March alone, we had 54 fires in 1 week, 53 of those west of the Cascades. We're seeing drought reports already in many parts of our state, and as you know, while we love having the sunny weather here in the spring, it leads to a pretty dangerous and challenging summer when it comes to dry landscape and more potential fires.
You've been here with us in studio a couple times, not during the fire season, very much in the dead of winter, because for you guys, this funding battle to try to get more resources for prevention, training, fighting has been ongoing. We have just a couple days left in the session. Are you guys going to get what you want, do you think? Are you going to get more funding?
We're going to do everything possible to fight to the last day to make sure we have. I mean, last summer you and I sat here when our skies were filled with smoke, and at times we had the worst air quality in the world. And you asked me if it was going to be a new normal, and I said it will be our new normal unless this state steps up and starts investing in preventing the problem we have.
You guys had proposed a plan. I want to put that plan up so people understand what you were hoping for. You wanted a dedicated funding source, a funding source that was specifically for preventing, fighting fires. So basically, talk about what it would have done, because this had to do with putting a tax on insurance premiums.
That's right. So my agency has developed two plans. One, a wildfire strategic plan that would set the state up to be for a 21st century wildfire fighting force, and also a forest health plan to treat 1.25 million acres of forest. We cannot implement those plans unless we have dedicated revenue year after year to be investing in the preventive side of our wildfires. The dedicated funding source that came out from the Senate was a 0.52% surcharge on property and casualty insurance. It would create basically $62.5 million a year for us to be investing in our forest health treatments and in having the resources and capacity up front to fight those fires.
So you guys put this out. It's our understanding that there is a tentative budget deal in Olympia, or a budget agreement. We are not privy to the details of that agreement. Are you privy to it, and is what you wanted in terms of that funding plan in there?
So we learned last night, as you said, the House and the Senate have reached a tentative deal here on the budget. We are not yet privy to the specific details. I will be actually headed right after this interview back to the Hill to be fighting to make sure that in the House and the Senate budget and what gets passed, that we have a dedicated revenue stream. Right now, the fact is, if we don't start investing in this, we are going to pay regardless. We're paying $153 million annually. And the question is, are we going to pay to react in fire and dying forests and threats to our communities and firefighters? Or are we going to pay to actually invest in restoring the health of our forests, reducing the casualties to our communities and to our firefighters?
What if it's not in there? What if the funding you've been looking for is not in there?
I'll be disappointed. Frankly, I think sometimes when we look out right now, our skies are beautiful and we forget what the summer's like. But we know how dangerous it is and how threatening. I think the thing that I look at every single year, and as we approach fire season, is we have firefighters putting their lives on the line to protect the communities and protect the state from burning. And unfortunately, when we don't invest in those landscapes and we don't invest in the resources and capacity up front, our firefighters are put in danger. Our public is put in danger. We will continue to fight for this year after year. We want to make sure that we actually have these investments. This state needs to start putting in the money to prevent these fires. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and it starts now, today.
Well, I think you make a good point there, where it's sort of out of sight, out of mind. I mean, as I've said, we've had you here in the winter months talking about this, all year round, but it's when the fires are actually burning, when the skies are actually filled with smoke, where it's top of mind. I was joking about this during the break. If you think the legislative session happened during the summer months, when this was all happening, fires were burning, homes were being destroyed, firefighters were on the fire lines, do you think you'd have an issue getting what you want?
I think it'd be a lot easier. I think we know the legislature is competing with lots of competing needs of affordable housing, homelessness, mental health issues, education. Those are all really important. I think, though, when fire season is not right in front of us, they forget how dangerous it is and how impactful it is to every single resident of Washington State.
I want to just end on this note as we're running out of time. You've mentioned your firefighters, so you have a lot of them who are about to hit the front lines very soon. We're about to be in fire season. Do you just want to give them a message? as we head into that season?
For me, my number one job is to keep the state of Washington, the public, and my firefighters who put their lives on the line every single day. And I would say right now, we are grateful that they're willing every single year to put 16-hour days in, unending from April all the way to October. Our hearts are going to be with them. I'm going to do everything possible to make sure they have the resource and capacity to protect them, keep them safe, that every day they can go home to their family.
All right, Commissioner of Public Lands Hillary Franz, thank you for being here. When we do know the details of the budget, whether your plan is in there and that funding is in there or not, we'll follow up with you and get a reaction from you on that.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thanks.